Welcome back to another video. You're with IQ, and today we're going to be talking about Effigy Clash. Also going to be talking about the 2 new units that they've released, and we're going to be breaking down the new event and I guess just the hopes that I have for it moving forward. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, cool. So quickly I'll just break down the boss for anybody that doesn't know it. It pretty much has the little horse with it, and they lifelink it. So you got the big pulley and you got the little pulley. They both have their own special meter bar, and when the little pulley goes, it will go across the screen twice, doing max HP damage and stunning them. Every time it goes across as well on a 40-second cooldown, it increases the damage dealt of the next special by 50%. And when an ally resists, it also increases its special attack progress, so the bar will increase by 15% as well. The main poly, the big horse, it has effect accuracy reducing properties debuffs on all of its moves pretty much. You know, the AoE thunder attack, it will do 3 times 10%, so 30% reduction for 15 seconds. The second attack, what that does is it will attack 5 times, and rather than reducing your effect resistance, it just gives Polly and the little Polly a shield that can permanently last and will not be dispelled. It will also resist 1 debuff per stack, so 3 stacks, 3 debuffs that can be resisted. Nothing you can do about it. So you've basically got 40%, you've got 30%, and then you've got the tornado, which is 100% 3 times. So with all of that, the little poly is going to be, you know, pretty fast in terms of releasing its specials, so we just need to keep that in mind. So the team that I want to try out, first and foremost, I've just been trying out a few teams, seeing, you know, where I can get. I believe like the lowest I've managed to get is about 300 million, and the highest I've managed to get is about 500. So it is quite a big gap, but you know, this is what I like to do, just see what else is available outside of the bog standard, you know, F Blanca, where is she, Street Poison, MH Ken, you know, Bison teams. Like this here is pretty much standard. You know, it is probably the best team that we can have for AoE bosses out there. It works, there's no denying that. But I just want to see, you know, for people who don't have these units, or even just for myself who like to build other units, you know, just based on their design or some part of their kits. So I'm just going to try something a little bit different first before I actually go to use this team. Along with a couple of different EXs, I might swap out the first to keep the Gore EX, just because of the raw stats that it gives, as well as the decreasing of defense. It's just it's a huge EX move. So the team that I think I am going to try is, because it is an AoE boss, I want to try putting Chun-Li in the 3rd spot. That's what I want to do. No, actually, I want to put Chun-Li on the field. I'll keep him there for the big damage, and I'll try another team later on. But I think I'll do Chun-Li. We'll have Chun-Li using her S3, and we'll have Chun-Li using her AoE, because it does do the, you know, the defense down, AoE blast. Sure, it's not as good as F Blanca, but I'm just trying something out. I'll definitely still be using F Blanca's S2, possibly his S1, and then we've got Bison here. So overall, we've got a couple of option selects. I'm definitely going to be changing the assists around, because my personal opinion is, you know, I've got Chun-Li on the field. She's going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and the armor break, I think, will be better than the frame penetration. You know, as much as I do like Fire Chun-Li, I do feel like having the Kami, coming out every trigger skill. So I already went over that on my last video. You know, every MH can combo 2 trigger skills for Cammy. I'm not getting the sharpness because he's not on the field, but that shouldn't matter so much. The next thing that I do want to kind of do is make sure that I'm able to keep Chun-Li alive, and I think the best way to do that would simply be putting Eleanor on Chun-Li, so that way at least she's able to keep up her health, so I'm able to get that S3 and keep on ramping up the combos. In terms of EXs, I think I'll just go for a standard one like this. I'll try it out where I'm going to use Vigilante, and the only reason I say that is because, again, as you know, with bosses, they gain stacks of attack one of 2 ways, either over time or by being attacked. So I just want to see how much Vigilante affects at the beginning, and if it's worth, you know, using that at the start, or maybe waiting a while, you know, like the 52-second mark, 60-second mark, anywhere around there, you know, when you're starting your burst with most bosses, as you do, and then going into gore as soon as it's up. That might be the best bet, but we'll just find out and see what happens, really. Okay, so I did get stunned a couple of times, but I feel like that was a bit better. 354 million with that team, so, you know, not too bad at all. I am actually happy with that, I will say, just because, you know, different teams. I do like Chun-Li single target, and I do like the meter game, so I'm going to try and test that out a bit more later on, and maybe come back with an update, especially when we've got a couple more bosses, and see how that one goes. So this is a team that I'm currently just trying out. You know, is just a variation from taking out MHK and replacing him with Jury. And for the assists, I'm going to be using Mayor Cody, just for the increased, you know, fighter damage. That one I think will be really good. And then the second assist, I haven't really decided, but I think my best bet will be Fei Long. I think Mayor Cody and Fei Long should be really good. That's just a general damage increase. We'll put Fei Long onto Bison, so then that way the assist for Fei Long is always active. Bison can't die, so we're all good there. And then Mayor Cody, just for some of you who might not know what his assist is, what he does is, when he's in the assist position, when the battle begins, the assisted fighter will start a duel with the enemy fighter with the highest attack until one of them dies. During that time, the assisted fighter will deal 15% increased damage against the dueling target. And then if the assisted fighter wins the duel, permanently increases Mayor Cody's attack and defense by 10%. But the main thing is, because we're on a boss bosses can't die. So we're not worried about that last line. It's mainly just a 15% increase in damage. So who you want to be putting that person on is the F Blanca. I'll probably be rotating between a couple of the moves, you know, using Jury mainly for the S3, but I also do want to use Bison for the S3. I guess it just depends on, you know, when Polly is coming in, because even though it says that the combo can't be interrupted for Bison's S3, you know, sometimes it just happens, right? So at the beginning, I'm just going to be waiting to get the 3 bars, and then waiting for any special attacks that might hit to do it, unless it's the tornado. So he's done the tornado now. As the first one, I'm going to be using this, and we're just waiting for the bar to build. The second one that he's done is the thunder, so then I guess, you know, we've got the last one to go, which will be the horn raise. So now that we're doing it, we'll just wait for the horn raise. We'll pop down this, so the hoof should hit before that. Now we can just start our combo. We don't want to use the S3 before he gets there. There we go. Now we can do the blanket AoE into the poison S1, into the blanket S2, and now we'll just rotate between doing the Bison and the Jury S3. That would be my main kind of thing. Just making sure everything's alright. Now what's this coming, so we can get those. And another one over here. Another one like so. Bit too early on that one, unfortunately. Really close, so we can probably get in one more combo if I'm quick enough. Not quite, I guess, but you know what? Not that bad. We'll see how much damage we did. But 288 million again. I'm happy with that. Effigy level's only 11, so higher level. And then I guess the last team that I do want to come and show you guys is going to be the standard team. I just want to see, you know, how high I can kind of push, and then we'll just move on to, you know, the new characters, breaking down what they can do, and just seeing if it's worth really investing in them at the moment, or if, you know, we've already got some pre-existing units that could be a better fit for you at the time. So we're just gonna go and plug in the team. As everybody knows, this is the team. I am going to change out Mayor Cody in this situation now, though. I'm actually going to use the Fire Chun-Li. That's what I'm going to do. Use the Fire Chun-Li just for the flame penetration, and then I'll use the Fei Long as well for the flame and the burn damage increase. You know, I feel like that's a good team. In terms of all of the EXs, I do feel like this is a good setup. I was considering running this one just because it has a 20% chance to inflict burn, so then that might be able to get rid of one of the shields from Polly, but ultimately I don't feel like it's going to matter too much, just with how everything kind of works out, you know. So again, as I said, I'm just going to kind of let it build up, use the Vigilante EX as soon as I can, and kind of just get that out, and have that helping me from the get-go. And then we're just going to time the Gore EX till right after they've used their super, so I'm able to get off my stacks, they're not able to avoid getting the damage as well, and then hopefully everything should just go a little bit more smoothly from there. So you see we're coming up to the time. You've got this one doing its attack. Now we're just waiting for the second one to come and do its attack, and the second it does it, then we can get off with everything. There we go. To be fair, I should have waited for both of them, but I think it should be okay. Alright, there we go. Now we just go all for it. We're waiting a little bit for the second one, just so that we can get the F blanket S2 to hit consistently. You do have to wait a tiny bit for it, just so that, you know, he's still not doing the flame breath from the AoE. And now, I guess Blanca's gone, we just got to change out the combo a little bit. Just making sure that we're getting something out there, you know? So how much damage did we manage to do with this one? Not too bad, about 485 million. Could definitely optimize it. But hopefully, you know, next Effigy video I bring out, I'll show you the guild versus guild side, and just how like my guild went to prepare for that. And I'll just give you a brief, I guess, overview of where we are at the moment. In terms of guild ranking, we are first. So one of the new characters that has come out is Athlete Chun, and personally I really do like her. I'm not in any rush to build her because she isn't like a collaboration unit or anything like that, so I do, you know, have high hopes of her. If I can mark her out, I'll definitely, you know, be trying to play with a lot like that. I'm definitely going to be seeing if I can get her into Shadowloo and then hopefully get some gameplay in that sense of her. As you know, Shadowloo does scale with your level, so that wouldn't be a problem to have her kind of built up and on loan, because I feel like Shadowloo is more trial than the trial. But her skills are really interesting. So with her super Sublime Blade, it is an AoE attack, and it does unleash an energy blade that deals damage equal to 320% of her attack to enemies within a small AoE. Upon hit, the ally with the lowest HP by percentage, so at the time whoever's got the lowest health, they will recover HP equal to 40% of the damage dealt, capped to 100% of the fighter's attack. So basically it's lifesteal but for the lowest health ally on your team, which I think is really cool. The level 2 is if a wind vortex belonging to the friendly side of the field at the time of unleashing Sublime Blade. So essentially, if you've got the little wind vortex which comes to the S1, which we'll get onto in a bit, is on your side of the field, then what will happen is an additional energy blade will unleash, which penetrates all enemy targets. It deals less damage at 122% attack, but upon hit, the lowest ally with HP is also healed for 40%, damage capped at 150% again. So this time you're getting 2 heals rather than just the 1 on the lowest. And then at level 3, the damage increases to 60% of 180, so it's just more damage dealt, more lifesteal for the lowest. And what should happen really is it should heal 2 different people depending on the HP. So you could have 2 fighters that are fairly low. The first hit goes off and that will heal the lowest HP member, and now because he's no longer the lowest health, the second hit, if there's wind vortex on there, it would heal the next member. So I do see, you know, quite a bit of setup going in there on how you play. So obviously you would want to use you know, Windstorm, which employs a power focus to unleash the wind vortex, which we've been hearing about a lot from just the super and how it seems to interact with the rest of our kit as well. And it hovers around the arena for 12 seconds. It dissipates after 3 hits from range attacks have been taken. So it also seems, I guess, that against ranged enemy units, especially like just the default attack animations, it's not going to be too great. You know, like the Chun-Li AoE, the Guile, like the Dao Sim Yoga Flame, the poison attacks as well, it's not going to be the greatest. Possibly even the Bison AoE as well. That's something that's going to be an issue for this skill. When a vortex belonging to the friendly side is on the field, 20% of damage otherwise taken by an ally fighter is absorbed by the vortex. So it's damage reduction right there, which is another thing. So she's got the healing and the damage reduction, which is coming in really big. At level 2, if the wind vortex is on the friendly side, now friendly fighters are also boosted by 15%, their attack is increased, and they also get effect resistance of 30%. So that means that you're not only getting an attack increase, but things like, you know, burns, things like stuns, everything apart from combo interruptions is now having less of an effect. So I can definitely see, you know, the value that she's bringing. And then the level 3 is when a wind vortex begins, and the level 3 is when a wind vortex belonging to the friendly side is on the field, 25% of the damage otherwise taken by an ally fighter is absorbed by the vortex. So now you're getting even more damage reduction because it's 20% and now it's 25%. So that's gotten higher. And now for the final one, it increases the effect resistance and the attack from 15 and 30% respectively to 20 and 50%. So that's a really huge boost. So you're getting an attack boost as long as that vortex is active on your side, and if it's on the friendly side, you're also getting the attack, the effect resistance. So it really does help out. I feel like it's going to be really strong in PvP. I think you know, stopping a lot of the burns that you might find, a lot of the potential silences. This could even, I guess, be a way to potentially stop you know, just getting hit by debuffs, as long as it's not 100% base chance. You know, it could just be that way. I could definitely see, you know, Athlete Chun-Li being used alongside T-Hawk and then just stacking on those kind of defensive buffs, making the team kind of unkillable, and then having someone in the backline to just kind of clean up. But it's not like Chun-Li doesn't you know, have much damage herself. She does seem like she's, you know, going to be providing damage in some sort of way too. And the combo 2 for Athlete Chun-Li is an AoE attack that does 490% of her attack to enemies within the AoE. At level 2, when the hurricane moves to the friendly side, the athlete Chun-Li regains HP equal to 20% of her attack, and when the wind vortex belonging to the friendly side is on the field, its skill damage and healing effects are enhanced by 50%. So you're getting more damage off of it. The healing is becoming a bit stronger when it's on your side, and you can kind of see that she's got a bit of a setup. So you would have to alternate between using the combo 1 and then using the super into the combo 2 for the healing, and then just the damage that she can provide. And then again, if we were to come and talk about the last couple of things, her cars as well really do help. You know, after releasing her super, she will fire an air blast as well once, and this is considered a trigger skill, even though its damage is reduced by 40%. And if you know what I've said about trigger skills beforehand, what this means is that she can definitely take advantage of assists like Kami that come down with trigger skills are activated. So, you know, that could be another thing there. It could even, you know, be influenced by Yun as well, or Yun and Yang when they have their trigger skill and skill damage kind of passives. You know, it's really good when characters have things like that is considered to be a trigger skill, because it's just automatic more free damage, and we always like that. And then the last thing is just to talk about is her fighting spirit. It gives HP as a bonus, it gives attack percentage as a bonus, dodge and recovery rate, and I think that's pretty good. You know, the recovery rate, especially because she's going to be healing and she's a support, that's always good to have. Just more health, you know, more survivability. The dodge, same thing, but it does seem that's a common thing with Chun-Li. You know, all of them just have some sort of dodge somewhere in there, so it wasn't too surprising to see that she had that. You know, what the fighting spirit does is it unleashes a windstorm level 3 once upon entering the battle, and this again is considered a trigger skill. So from the beginning of the battle, if you did have Kami, you're already getting that trigger skill off the bat right there. At +5 on the fighting spirit, the assist takes effect, you know, when they're on the assist position for the fighter that they're on. And when the assisted fighter does land a hit with a ranged attack, the ally with the lowest HP recovers HP equal to 50%. And at +10, when a wind vortex belonging to the friendly side is on the field, all allied wind and master fighters receive 25% more healing. So even though it is limited to only 2 of the factions, you know, the more healing is really good. And I guess if you're going to plan around a team, especially with the faction bonuses, you could easily get a team built around that. Obviously maybe not the Bison, but Bison doesn't need healing anyway, so that's a little bit redundant. But I still feel like that's pretty solid for a plus 10. More healing all around, especially if you support the lifesteal basically for the other units, other allies on your team. It's really solid. And then at plus 20, again, when that wind vortex is on the friendly side of the field, all allied wind and master fighters take 30% soul, flame and thunder damage. And I think that's really good. And the reason I'm saying that is because wind fighters, and not all master fighters, but again, with the clone and all of that kind of stuff, will really take advantage of this. You know, less soul damage. So you've got the Kens, you know, the Juries, and the Bisons doing all of that, the flame damage with F Blanca running rampant, as well as Dowsim being Dowsim, and just Yoga Fire, Yoga flaming everybody to death. You've got Sea Viper who does both flame and thunder damage. I think like just having that damage reduction there is really good. And then at plus 30 as well, Wind Vortex blocks damage from ranged attacks and dissipates only after 6 ranged hits have been taken. So what that means is now you're even getting more value out of that skill 1 if you come over here. You know, you've gone from 4 ranged attacks to 6 ranged attacks there, and it now takes the attacks when it's dissipated. And then you've got your cars here which unleash the Sublime Blade where it's there, so you're definitely got more time to kind of do everything. You know, that 16-second window, the additional kind of damage and all the buffs that it provides. I think it's really strong. And I think now we'll just go into a quick example of one of the fights. I won't do all of them, I might just do one of these ones. So what I think I am going to do is, depending on how quick or slow everything is and just the damage and stuff, I might choose to hold it a bit, but I don't think I'm going to get that option. We're going to start off with the AoE there, and we're going to go into there, and you can see that we're getting a decent amount of healing. There we go, and now because it's gone, we're going to have to build that up, so I'm going to go for the S2 there. We'll go there. Bring you out and then bring you back in. So not too bad, they did survive, you know, didn't really take too much of the burn effect, so that was a good thing. This video has gone on a little bit longer than I had liked, but what I will do is split this video in half, so the next video that's coming out, it will cover Summer Yang, you know, all of his skills, his garage and his fighting spirit, as well as covering the second part of the Effigy battle, which is, you know, the guild versus guild portion, just showing you how our guild is doing there, and giving you a bit of an update on that regards. And yeah, so that's about it for now. You know, I do appreciate you stuck with me to the end. Just like, comment and subscribe. Tell me, you know, your favorite part of the video, anything you'd like to see me cover, or if you really just wanna say anything really at all. Alright, cool, that's me, take care, peace.